The German Fallschirmjäger has never lost a battle against a parachute regiment. From World War II to the modern era, the Germans have dominated every encounter. End of story. Except that's complete garbage, and by the end of this video you'll know exactly why. But you'll also understand why this rivalry between two world's airborne forces is far more interesting than any simple scoreboard. Today we're pitting the British Paras against the German Paratroopers, and trust me, the answer isn't what you think. So comment down below straight away. Maroon for the Paras, or yellow for the German Paras. Welcome back to the war. Now let's start where legends are forged: selection. Because if you can't survive the training, you don't get to wear the wings. The Parachute Regiment puts candidates through P Company, which is pure hell designed to break you. This isn't about being fit, it's about discovering who can keep going when their body is screaming at them to quit. Here's what you'll face: the 10 miler in full gear and weapon. 10 miles in under 1 hour 50 minutes. The Trinasium, 60 feet of aerial obstacles. Miss a grip, you're falling. That point isn't just physical, it's about conquering fear while exhausted. The log race, teams carry a 60-kilogram log through an obstacle course. When your legs have gone, when you're vomiting from exhaustion, you still carry on with your mates. The steeplechase is a 2-mile water obstacle. Carrying full kit, you'll be wet, cold and broken. And then comes the finale, the endurance march. 20 miles carrying 35 pounds plus weapon in under 4 hours and 10 minutes. By mile 15 your feet will be destroyed. By mile 18 you're hallucinating, but you don't stop. Oh, and then there's the milling. 60 seconds of controlled aggressive boxing. No defence allowed, just attack. They want to see if you'll fight when the odds are against you. Most don't make it. Could you? Now, the Germans don't publicise their selection process the same way, but here's what we know about the Paras Extended Basic Qualification, EGB for short. Multi-phase parachute training includes jumps from both aircraft and helicopters, urban warfare scenarios that will make most infantry units sweat, survival training in hostile environments, advanced leadership under stress. The German philosophy is different though. Where the British want to see who can endure suffering, the Germans focus on tactical competence under pressure. Both produce warriors, just different breeds. So who has the edge? Let us know in the comments. For me, it has to be the British for sheer physical brutality. P Company is legendary for a reason. But don't mistake this for German weakness. Their selection produces thinking soldiers who can fight smart, not just hard. Now here is where it gets spicy. Because combat records aren't just about who won what battle, it's about who showed up when it mattered. Since World War II, the Paras have been involved in the Suez Crisis in 1956, dropping into El Gamal airfield under fire, the Falklands War in 1982 with the legendary Battle of Goose Green, peacekeeping and combat operations in 1990 in the Balkans, Iraq from 2003 onwards, securing key objectives in southern Iraq, and Afghanistan, mainly in the Helmand province. The Paras have been consistently deployed in the UK's hardest fights. Goose Green alone, outnumbered, attacking a prepared defensive position and still winning. He's studied in military academies worldwide. Here's where it gets interesting though. Post World War II, Germany was restricted from having a military until 1955, when the Bundeswehr reformed. The Fallschirmjäger built slowly. Their modern record includes the Balkans for peacekeeping operations, in Afghanistan, which included some of the fiercest firefighting German forces have faced since 1945, Mali for counter-terrorism operations, and NATO's rapid response, and maintaining constant high readiness for deployments. The German public is less enthusiastic about military operations than the British, so deployments are more limited. But when German paras have deployed, particularly in Afghanistan, they've proven themselves in direct combat. The catch? The British have simply fought more conflicts, more intensity, more opportunities to prove themselves under fire. So who wins? The British paras take the round, not because German soldiers are inferior, but because they've had more opportunities to fight and have consistently performed at the highest levels. Let's talk numbers. Because having elite soldiers is great, but can you actually field them when needed? The British Parachute Regiment has 4 battalions. The 1st Battalion is a Special Forces Support Group, SG for short, who work directly with SAS and SBS. The 2nd and 3rd Battalions are Airborne Infantry with the 16 Air Assault Brigade. And the 4th Battalion is the Reserve Forces. Roughly 2,000 to 2,500 active paratroopers at full strength, plus reserves. Germany's airborne forces are structured differently, integrated across multiple divisions. Total strength is estimated at 4,000 to 5,000 paratroopers, including specialised KSK units. But here's the reality check. Germany's defence budget has been historically lower than the UK's relative to GDP. However, that changed dramatically. After Ukraine, Germany announced €350 billion in defence spending through to 2041. The Fallschirmjäger are expanding and modernising rapidly. So the verdict? Germany has the numbers advantage, and it's growing. The British have concentrated elite quality, but if you need to put airborne boots on the ground en masse, Germany is building that capacity. Modern warfare isn't just about who's toughest, it's also about who has the better tools and knows how to use them. British paras use the L85, A2 and A3 variants as their primary rifle. Advanced ACOG and holographic sights, the latest Gen thermal and MVG systems, cutting edge secure comms, and support weapons like the minigun, javelin and mortar systems. The British have also invested heavily in tactical mobility, lighter, faster, more deployable. The 16th Air Assault Brigade can put boots on the ground globally within 48 hours. But here's where Germany flexes. The €350 billion investment isn't just for show. Their primary rifle is the new HK416A8, machine guns like the MG4 and MG5, advanced suppressors, modular weapon systems, cutting-edge thermal optics, integrated soldier systems, advanced body armour and next-gen comms. Germany's defence industry is world-class. Heckler & Koch, Rheinmetall, these aren't just suppliers, they're innovators. The German paras are getting equipment that's often ahead of its time. Plus, NATO interoperability means both forces train together constantly. They share intelligence, tactics, and often operate side by side. This category is close, as both forces have world-class equipment. The British have operational experience using their gear in combat. The Germans have slightly newer tech in some areas. In a real fight, equipment wouldn't be the deciding factor. So who wins? The Red Devils or the Fallschirmjäger? Let's be honest, in a hypothetical modern battle, it will be brutal, close and bloody. Both are elite, both are NATO allies, both train together. But you want a winner. So let's go back to that lie I told you at the beginning. The Germans have never lost to British Paras. Remember that? Complete nonsense. Let me take you to Sicily, July 1943, the Battle of Primosole Bridge. The British Paras dropped to capture a vital bridge, but the Germans, the Fallschirmjäger, were already there. What followed were 3 days of savage fighting. British paratroopers, outnumbered and out of position, attacked prepared German defensive positions. The Germans held. The British kept attacking. Both sides suffered horrific casualties. Eventually, British armour arrived and the Germans withdrew, but not before inflicting massive casualties. A tactical victory? Arguably British. They got the bridge eventually, but the German paratroopers proved that they could hold against elite British forces in a straight up fight. So the real verdict? The modern British para is battle hardened, aggressive and experienced. The modern German Fallschirmjäger is technically proficient, increasingly experienced and backed up by massive investment. But for me, the British edge it, because they've been in more fights and consistently proven themselves in recent combat. But is the gap closing fast? Give Germany another decade of modernisation and operational deployment and we might have a different conversation. Both the Red Devils and the Fallschirmjäger represent a high standard in military airborne forces. They're not enemies, they're allies, and thank God for that, because you wouldn't want to face either one. So what do you think? Am I wrong about the British edge? Would you rather have German tactics and equipment? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more head-to-head military comparisons that actually dive into real history, not just the propaganda, go and check out the US Marines versus Royal Marines. You don't want to miss it. Hi soldiers, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comments. And check out our merch and membership programs. And don't forget to check back in again soon. That's an order.